you both doing?
Good, how are you?
We're doing excellent. It's always a pleasure to see the two of you. So I want to start with David. The thing that I found fascinating about David is so many filmmakers will just film with one camera, like Ridley Scott or the way Roger Deakins liked to work. But David will shoot these 15-minute takes with 4 or 5 cameras. You don't even know where the cameras are sometimes. Can you sort of talk about, as an actor, working with someone like that and maybe how that changes the energy on set?
I mean, it takes some getting used to at first. I mean, the idea that you didn't know where the camera was is it sort of goes against everything you've kind of experienced and learnt as an actor, because you always know kind of where your light or your camera is, and then which is kind of great because he stripped you all away of all of those little safety kind of mechanisms that you might have picked up, you know. So it felt pretty raw and authentic, and that's kind of what Mackenzie does. He creates a habitat which is kind of, it's just real, and then lets you go, you know, a wild pack of animals. And it's only about halfway through that you've noticed that is that a fucking camera over there, right behind someone? Sugar, that's been on me, like, you know, the whole time, and then, you know, but yeah, it was documentary filmmaking in a way, you know. That's what, you know. So
yeah, very much so.
Oh, I was looking for that story, but yes, you just...
Yes, tick. All right, done.
Story, no. I mean, I would say, yeah, it's incredibly frustrating at first. It's still kind of frustrating because I think as an actor, you have you have even less control because you don't know where the camera is or what angle he's on, or is he close? Should I? But I think that unstructuredness and that taking the rug out from underneath you and that playing with the mechanisms of standard filmmaking, it's exactly what he's doing thematically too. It's here's you have a structure of a film that one thinks should be Braveheart or should go by certain Hollywood tropes and hit certain things. And yet David flips it all on its head, scrambles it, and puts it back in the same structure for you to have to go hunting for meaning and figuring out who these people are. And that made it interesting to me.
One of the things, David is looking for authenticity. He's looking for being truthful in the moment,
right.
But you're also portraying, you're trying to make it as authentic as you can to the historical time period that this is taking place. So talk a little bit about maybe like the research, like balancing that inner thought versus like trying to be honest in that moment, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think, you know, you can only sort of read between the lines, and there's whatever, I think you say it quite beautifully, is like, you know, the movements by, well, this event happened, and then 6 months later this event happened, right? And then, so you're trying to humanize these characters and find, well, where's the empathy lie between that, and then how do you give them how do you justify them and what have you? But
yeah, the character, the more that I investigated him, became more nebulous and more opaque the more that I knew the dates and the facts and the combat movements and the William Wallace, at least cinematically, appears so monochromatic to me. He's the reluctant hero that needs to avenge the death of his wife, and then he goes on the moral quest only to die very young. You know, Bruce is a man that has loyalties perhaps that are tied to the English crown, probably because he grew up with these people. He knows King Edward from when he was a boy. He grew up with the Prince of Wales in London. He rolled in a group of people of great wealth. So these were people that, for all intents and purposes, were friends, or friendly at least. So there are incredible amounts of tendons and ligaments tying these people together, clans, families, cousins, all sorts of things. And yet he makes a decision to go against all of that and with 500 people fight the strongest army in the world. Why he did that? Was he power hungry? Did he have a selfless desire to free his country? I don't know, but I like the complexity of it.
On that note, I already have to stop. I will just say congrats on the movie, and I enjoyed the newer cut. I think the newer cut's really good.
Thanks.